This is the Puberty and Body Development Lesson PowerPoint for Lesson 3. Your learning objectives are to understand and be able to explain the changes that happen to girls during puberty and to understand the challenges faced by girls during puberty. For your first task, I would like you to unscramble and sort the keywords linked to girls and puberty. There are 6 keywords and the letters are all mixed up. To help you, I have put a box on the screen that says unscrambled words, and I've put the first letter from each correct unscrambled word next to the number. So for example, number 1 begins with the letter M. Number 2 begins with the letter B. Number 3 begins with the letter D. Number 4 begins with the letter P. Number 5 begins with the letter V. And number 6 has 2 words. The first word begins with a B and the second word begins with a H. Have a go at doing it without looking at any keywords. See if you can do it from what you know already. If you're really struggling, you can look at your vocabulary flashcards, which are both in your homework booklet and also in your student workbook. So you can have a look at those and see which ones match the letters that are scrambled. As you're unscrambling them, write them down in your exercise book or in your student workbook. If you'd like to challenge yourself further, select one of the keywords that you have unscrambled and name the body part that it's linked to. For example, face, genitals, etc. Okay, so label the body part linked to. Bleeding, hips widen, acne, periods, menstruation, breasts, body hair, vagina, and you can see there are some different words labelled on there as well, vaginal discharge, pubic hair. Next, I would like you to read the statements about what girls can find challenging during puberty. Like we did with the boys' lesson, I would like you to first check that you understand the key words in bold. I will read each of the statements to you. Listen carefully, look at the key word in bold, and if you need to, refer to your vocabulary flashcards in your student workbook to make sure that you really clearly understand what that word means. During puberty, girls usually start their periods sometime between the ages of 9 and 16. They will start bleeding once a month for 2 to 7 days. Girls will develop breasts. Girls will grow pubic hair. Girls may become curvier. Their hips may get wider. Girls might sweat more. Girls may experience vaginal discharge. Girls may develop acne. So now that I've read through those statements, check that you understand and are confident with the key words in bold. These are on your vocabulary flashcards. I will read through those now and they're on the next slide. Now, like we did with the boys' keywords, I would like you to select between 3 and 5 of the key words from that table that we've looked at and create a flashcard for them. And this is to help you or the people in your class to remember the definition and the meaning behind those key words. On your flashcard, you will need to include the word, maybe a little picture if you like, and also your definition, so explaining it in your own words. Okay, so an example is you might use the keyword acne. You could draw a little picture with somebody with some spots on their face, and your explanation would be when hormones cause someone to have more spots. Okay, that is an example of a flashcard. So you're going to select between 3 and 5 of the keywords and create a flashcard for these helping you or a partner to practice learning and remembering the definition of these key words. When you finish that, you might want to do the extra challenge, again to swap flashcards with a partner and to test each other on the meaning of these words. For your next task, I'd like you to select one statement and complete the thought bubble that is in your student workbook. And you're going to do like we did last lesson, where we think about how a girl might be feeling if she's experiencing this. So for example, I think I've started my period. I need to check I have some sanitary products. That might be what a girl is thinking when she experiences her period. So you can use the sentence starters that I've included here. I'm thinking about, or I'm feeling, to help get you started. And you can use the key words that you've checked your understanding of in your sentence. If you finish this, then you can do the extra challenge, which is to give some helpful advice to a girl to cope with that challenge that you have identified. So for example, the example on the board, I think I've started my period, I need to check I have sanitary products. Your advice could be, make sure you have a small bag inside your school bag that is always kept stocked with sanitary products. For the next task, this is where you choose an activity to complete. Your option 1, the first option, is to write a diary entry for a female character going through puberty. I would like you to choose one of the challenges that we've looked at on the previous task for your character to write about. On the next slide and in your student workbook, there is a writing frame that will help you to do this. You can choose to use this writing frame, you can choose to use parts of the writing frame, or you can choose to write your own sentences. Option 2 is to create a true or false quiz about the challenges that girls can face during puberty. So for example, girls will always start their periods by age 12. True or false? We know that this is false, so you might structure your question like this and then put your answer somewhere so that you can check people's answers after they've completed it. You can use the space in your workbook to complete these true or false statements now. Option 3 is to create a social media influencer who teaches her followers about what girls experience during puberty. So the first part of your task is to draw and label the features of your influencer. What does she look like? What does she do? What does she wear? What does she say? What does she post about? And to create a post that she would share about one of the challenges faced by girls during puberty. On the next slide and in your student workbook, there is a template of a person and some support to help you with this. This is the frame to help you do option 3. You might like to draw the features of your influencer on this body shape if you wish. And the post about the challenge of puberty you might like to write in this box or to draw in this box. There doesn't have to be words here. It could be a picture of her showing the challenges of puberty. So choose a challenge, 1, 2 or 3. For your final task, can you find one challenge that both boys and girls might experience during puberty? You can talk about this with the person next to you, or you can just circle the ones in your student workbook that you think both boys and girls might experience. Is there anything else in addition to these that isn't included here? So the suggestions are periods and menstruation, body hair, acne, sweat, wet dream, voice break. Which of those do both boys and girls possibly experience during puberty? And to stretch yourself any further, are there any other challenges that both boys and girls might face?